Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Our webinar today is called Getting Started with CodeHS, and we are excited to have you here. We are excited to have our teacher trainer, Tammy Huddle, here with us today to share her experience and her expertise using CodeHS. So Tammy, do you want to say hi and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Tammy Huddle, and I've been using CodeHS for about 3.5, 4 years now. And I teach high school computer science through a virtual high school, and absolutely love CodeHS. I've got everybody at our school switched to it that teaches coding, and I was immediately hooked the first semester I used it and have been using it ever since.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I am going to put a link to our slides in the chat. Oops, I just sent it to the hosts and the panelists. I need to send that to everyone. Let's try that again. There we go. All right. So if you'd like to take a look at the slides and follow along or reference these slides later, if you forget something we talked about today, you will have access to those slides. All right, if you'll go forward one for me, Tammy, thank you. So today we are going to be talking about how to select a CodeHS course for use in your classroom. We will show you all of the curriculum available in the course catalog, and then we will walk you through the steps of setting up your courses and your sections. There's a little bit of a vocabulary hurdle to jump there with the CodeHS platform. It's just something you got to get used to, the difference between courses and sections. But once you know the difference, it's really easy to navigate the sections that you set up and to link them so that if you make a change in one section, it can be duplicated throughout any section using that same course. So Tammy's going to walk you through those distinctions and how to set up courses, sections, and then customize the content that you select for those sections. So just some housekeeping as we get started. If you would like to ask us a question, we welcome interruptions and questions as questions come to you. Please either use the chat or the Q&A, and we will help you find the answers to your questions. And maybe it's one that it would benefit everybody to hear Tammy answer and see in the chat. So definitely feel free to utilize the chat while you are here with us today or the Q&A. So we definitely encourage you to go ahead and sign into your CodeHS account, or if you don't have a CodeHS account quite yet, we would ask for you to go ahead and create an account. And when you go to the link that I've just put in the chat, it'll ask you to register. There's basic registration questions, so we can learn more about you and your school and help provide some customized suggestions for what you're looking for and how you're going to use CodeHS in the classroom. And so even if you, like I said, already have an account, go ahead and log in. And you can follow along with us today, but not only that, we want to make sure that you get a certificate for attending today if you would like one. So you have to be logged in first. So before you click this link that I'm going to give you, go ahead and log in to CodeHS or create an account if you don't have one yet. Then you can click the certificate of completion link that I just dropped in the chat. And that will just record that you were here today, and it will also email you a certificate of completion if you can use something like that for licensure renewal or, just professional development points or a system within your school or district. So definitely get logged in. Once you're logged in, then click on the certificate of completion link. And it's a very basic screen that comes up. You don't have to do anything except click on that link in the chat, and it'll just pop up a screen that says, "Thank you for attending." Don't need to do anything else. All right, so before I hand it over to Tammy, I just want to give a quick overview of CodeHS. So we are a comprehensive platform for teaching computer science in elementary, middle, and high school. We are a web-based computer science curriculum, and we have lots of resources and tools for teachers in addition to the curriculum that make life really, really easy, we hope, and your teaching practice efficient so that you can spend time helping students and not worrying about lesson planning and grading and all the things. We also offer online and offline professional development, which you know because you're here today. So some of those teacher tools I was talking about. So we have tons of curriculum, and you're going to see that today when Tammy takes you through some considerations for selecting your course. We have tons of curriculum, but we also have lots of really great teacher tools that I was mentioned just a second ago. For example, we have grading tools, we have feedback tools, we have communication tools to message students and allow them to message you if they need help. We have so many great uh, like I said, things to help teachers be more efficient and to really coach students in their computer science journey. And all of this is web-based, so no additional downloads or plugins needed. So with that, I will hand it off to Tammy. And again, the chat is open. Please let us know if you have any questions.
All right. I'm going to take you through looking at choosing different courses because CodeHS has many, many courses that you can choose from for your curriculum. Right, and this is just an example of some of the different courses we've had. And I've actually taught, since I've been doing it, about 4 different courses. I've taught the Fundamentals of Computing for South Carolina course, APCSA in Nitro. That's a pretty fun Java course. Introduction to Java, if you want something a little lighter, not as heavy or APCSA level as Nitro, then the Java Latte is a really good course. I've taught it, and currently teaching the Introduction to Python Programming with Python 3. So that's just some of the ones that I have taught. And you can see on the screen here, this is just a small sampling of the many courses that CodeHS has. So one of the first things you need to do is find out or figure out what your course goals are. What are you wanting to teach? And there's lots of different questions that you need to ask and figure out before you go to teaching. So some of these would probably be, are you teaching an introductory course? Is something that's easy, like fundamentals of computing. And again, that's one of the ones we offer first to our students, which kind of introduces some basic computer concepts and gets them going into a little bit of JavaScript. So they do a little bit of coding, they do a little bit of web design, and it's a really introductory course. So you need to figure out that level first. Do you want the students to focus on programming or another topic like cybersecurity or web design? Because we have different courses, which I'll be showing you here shortly. So you've got to figure out exactly what it is you're wanting to teach the students. Exposure to a variety of CS topics and the difficulty, the advanced topics. And like I said, Latte is more for Java, is a lot lighter of a course and an introduction than say Nitro. So you really want to check the courses out and figure out what you need or what your students need from you to figure out what's the best course. Other considerations you definitely want to take in mind, for one, timing. Um, is it a quarter course? Is it a semester or a year-long course? For me, I usually use the year-long classes and break them up into 2 semesters. So I'll have semester 1 and take the first part of a course, and then second semester take the second part of a course. So that is a big factor, and all of the courses will show you how many hours and whether they're semester long or a month long or how many hours. So that'll kind of help you with making the decision of what to do. And whether you want a coding course or maybe a non-coding course. Do you want to use code? Do you want to use blocks or text? Some of the courses allow you to switch back and forth between blocks and text. Some may not, but some of the courses do allow that. So you could turn on blocks for certain students or for certain courses if you want the students to be able to use blocks instead of, say, text coding. Um, the difficulty level. Are your students beginners or are they pretty advanced? For me, I teach like a second level course. So the fundamentals of computing is like an introductory course for the students. And then they come to me for a second level programming course. So the things I teach are a little more advanced than fundamentals. So that's something you want to think about too. And then if you have specific standards you are trying to align to for your state, we also have a breakdown by state. There are many courses that are offered for your state and aligned to your standards. So you can figure out courses based on that too, which are really, really helpful. And that's something that we do here in South Carolina where I'm at. This here is just one way you can go to the states. One, if you go to codehs.com/states, and you can break it down by that. I am going to go over to the platform here in just a moment, and I can show you how you can filter it by state. So that is one way that you can find that state standards page there. All right, so this is just showing you here where you can explore the course offerings. You can filter courses by the grade, by the language, by the level. You can view the course syllabuses and the unit overview. You can also enroll yourself. And I was showing Stephanie a minute ago, I've enrolled myself in a lot of courses just so I can go in and look at them and really check it out and see what kind of things are offered. So you can do that as well too, but you can sort by many different filters to find exactly what it is you're looking for. Okay, so we'll start with some of our middle school offerings just to show you guys a little bit about what we got for middle school. All right, so these here are mix and match middle school courses. And it says every middle school approaches computer science in a unique way. And the CodeHS Mix and Match middle school course will seek to make it easy for teachers to develop a curriculum that meets the needs of their specific school and students. The Mix and Match middle school course contains all of the CodeHS introductory middle school content, takes a modular approach to middle school curriculum where each module contains about 10 hours of content and introduces students to a specific topic within the field of computer science. Teachers can remove and reorder the modules. That's the wonderful thing about this. You have a lot of accessibility to organize your course the way you want. And you can do that to meet the needs of your students in your class setup. It's designed specifically for middle school students, these courses, and students will explore topics in a variety of engaging and interactive ways. The learning environment, the course will utilize a blended classroom approach. The content is a mix of web-based and physical activities. Depending on the chosen module, students may write and run code in the browser, create websites and digital presentations, complete interactive activities online, and engage in in-person collaborative exercises with classmates. Teachers will utilize tools and resources provided by CodeHS to leverage time in the classroom and give focused one-on-one attention to students. Note at the bottom of the list the two new modules which have just been released this fall. So they show it here. Again, all of these are 10 hours, and at the bottom there, the new ones, Exploring Data and Spreadsheets and Exploring Web Design 2. So you've got a lot of different choices here to offer your students. Computer Science Explorations 1 and 2 here. We've got Carol Adventures 1 and 2, Exploring Computing, Tracy Adventures, Exploring Digital Citizenship. And then for Computer Science Explorations 2, you've got Exploring Programming with Carol, Exploring the Internet, Exploring Web Design, Exploring Art with Code, and Exploring Game Design. And each of these courses have 5 modules for a total of 50 hours of content for each. In the Carol Adventure, I have used Carol before, actually Carol and Tracy. We used Carol in Fundamentals of Computing as a cute little dog that the kids get really attached to. They love Carol. So in the Carol Adventure series, students will learn a very basic form of JavaScript. That's what they'll learn there. It's pretty easy to pick up. That will allow them to give commands to Carol the dog in order to move it around the various worlds. There's lots of videos and exercises for students to practice with as they learn about programming concepts like conditionals and loops. With Tracy Adventures, Tracy's the turtle. With Tracy Adventures model, students engage in coding by learning very basic Python commands, and they learn to decompose their programs by writing functions. The day at the carnival and under the sea activities are fun and motivating themes as students begin to create graphics. Exploring Computing is a flexible unit for lower and upper middle school student use. Students will learn about software, hardware, and the internet. The Exploring Digital Citizenship module includes lessons on digital footprints and more. Students will learn about internet etiquette and how to stay safe on the World Wide Web. The Computer Science Explorations 2 courses, it's an introductory course for late middle school students. Students will learn the basics of programming with Carol the dog and learn how to code within the context of art and game design. Students will also explore how the internet works and how to make web pages with HTML and CSS. The Art with Code course, students will explore the intersection of art and technology by creating art programs using P5.js. And game design, students will learn the basics of video game design elements, game mechanics, sprite and world design, and game programming. And they will program in P5.play. Okay. Some of the other newer middle school courses here, we got Python Basics with Tracy 1 and 2, and you can see that's 120 hours, and there's a course overview there. And I believe Stephanie's providing lots of links in chat for you guys. There's the Introduction to Game Design with P5 Play and Web Design Calo. And there's lots of names. I've noticed CodeHS uses all these cute little names like Nitro and Latte. And I was telling you about those. And here's, I guess that's Calo. So they've got different names for all of them too, based on the different, the levels and the type of course offered and the modules offered. Let's see, the Python Basics with Tracy courses are designed to be either one semester courses or one full year. Here we'll teach students the basics of programming in Python, and they will begin with Python commands, functions, and control structures, and user interaction by solving puzzles and writing creative programs for Tracy to follow. They'll learn how to use lists, manipulate strings, really, really important, and work with files by solving puzzles and writing creative programs for Tracy. The Game Design with P5 Play, it's a first semester course that introduces students to game design and programming through a guided and structured approach. Students will learn to design, develop, and publish games. Students will also learn about major programming topics like variables, functions, conditionals, and mouse keyboard events while building fun and interactive games that they can play and share with others. You'll learn more about P5 Play here. I believe you put a link in there for that as well. Okay. And for web design, and Stephanie's already got the link in that one too, students will learn how to build their own web pages using the languages of HTML and CSS, both important for web design. Okay. All right, moving on. All right, so let's move over to high school, which is what I teach. I teach the high school kids. All right, so lots of courses here. We've got AP courses to go over first with you. Some of the ones listed here, we've got APCSP in JavaScript and Python. So there's the APCS principles. APCS principles will introduce students to the foundational concepts of computer science and programming with JavaScript. With a unique focus on creative problem solving and real world applications, students are challenged to explore how computing and technology can impact the world. Then we have APCS Principles with Cybersecurity. This course will introduce students to the foundational concepts of computer science and challenges them to explore how computing and technology can impact the world. In this cybersecurity version of the course, students will explore the APCSP requirements with an emphasis on cybersecurity application in JavaScript. This material is based upon work supported by the National Cybersecurity Training and Education and the NFS grant. Then Roblox. We know how much the kids love Roblox and Minecraft. So we have a course here, APCS Principles in Roblox. Students will utilize Roblox Studio and Lua to learn programming concepts. Students will build worlds and games in Roblox, and they will be encouraged to use Roblox for their performance task assessment. In addition, they will explore computer science concepts through Roblox simulations. And then finally, we also have a review for APCS principles to prepare them for the APCS exam. This course contains hundreds of AP-style exam questions to help your students prepare for the AP Computer Science Principles exam offered in May. So a lot to offer. It makes me want to do all these courses. Sounds like a lot of fun. I wish I had more time. All right, here we are in the APCSA courses. First would be the APCSA Nitro. That is a really fun one that I've been teaching for a few years. It is fully aligned to the College Board APCSA course standards. You'll learn the basics of object-oriented programming with a focus on problem solving and algorithm development. Next is the APCSA MOCA. Students will learn the basics of object-oriented programming with a focus on problem solving and algorithm development. It is designed to prepare the students for the AP Computer Science A test. Then you have labs that go along with these, which is really great. I think it's awesome that we have these additional things. You can see the APCSA Nitro is 120 contact hours, so it's a whole year-long course. Same thing with MOCA. And then the labs are 20 contact hours, so that'll help you prepare, helps the students prepare for that with some lab time. And then the review, which is 2 contact hours. So we also have a APCSA review for students as well. For introductory courses, if you want to do some introduction, again, like I said earlier, depends on the level of your students as to what you might want to offer, and you can see all the different varieties that CodeHS has. So we have an introduction to computer science in JavaScript, if they're really familiar with JavaScript, especially if they came from a fundamentals of computing course where they learn that, that would be a really good course. If you want to introduce them to Python programming, that course, all of these are year-long courses. That course there is a good introduction to Python using Python 3, and that is the course that I currently teach in addition to Nitro. So I teach a really advanced level Java course and then Python, which is an introductory course. And then the Intro to Java Latte course. So that's for introducing them to Java programming. Again, it is a lot easier than the Nitro course. So depending on your students and what their needs are and what you're comfortable with teaching, that is a really good introduction course. So all 3 of those are really good introduction courses for 3 different languages, for JavaScript, Python, and Java. So we got other pathways and courses to look at here. If your students are focused on Python and they want to do a Python pathway, we've got the Introduction to Python Programming, the APCS Principles in Python, Data Science in Python, and the applications of AI and machine learning. And you can see here that the first 2 are year-long, the Data Science is a semester, and then a month-long for the applications of AI. If the pathway for your students is web development and that's what you're focusing on, then this is a project-based course that teaches students how to build your own web pages. They'll learn the languages HTML and CSS and will create their own live home pages to serve as portfolios of their creations. Students will finish this course with tangible, professional, mobile, responsive websites. So there's a few different courses here. We've got Web Design Picasso, which is year-long. We've got Introduction to CS and JavaScript Core G, which is also a year-long. We've got Web Development and then Mobile Apps. So 4 different courses focused on web development. For cybersecurity, and I'm excited about this as I'm looking at teaching this next year, we've got Web Design Picasso, Fundamentals of Cybersecurity, APCS Principles for Cybersecurity, and Advanced Cybersecurity. So here's the different cybersecurity courses we've got. The Fundamentals course, this is the first course in the cybersecurity pathway and will prepare students for an advanced cybersecurity course and/or cybersecurity certification. Students will learn cybersecurity topics such as software security, networking, system administration, and the basics of cryptology and programming. In the advanced course, it is the capstone course of the cybersecurity pathway. Students will learn advanced topics in the field of cybersecurity, including advanced cryptography, networking, risk assessment, and cyber defense. Then there's the NCYTE. This is a little bit different here. Cybersecurity concept lessons in JavaScript and the different Python. So you could do different languages with the cybersecurity courses as well. Okay. Then moving on to more fun little devices like physical computing. The students love these when you get to the robots and the microbits and the Arduino units and things like that, Raspberry Pi. We've got two courses here in the Introduction to Physical Computing with Microbit and the Introduction to Physical Computing with Arduino, depending on what you want to use. The Introduction to Physical Computing with Microbit is a quarter-long middle school course and uses microbit devices to introduce students to physical computing. They use basic programming concepts to perform tasks using LEDs, buttons, and basic sensors. With the Arduino units, this one also is a quarter-long high school course that will utilize Arduino devices in order to give students the opportunity to apply knowledge of basic programming concepts such as control structures, variables, functions, etc., to a physical device. They will learn how to perform basic physical tasks, again using LEDs, buttons, and basic sensors. Okay. All right, now we're going to navigate over to managing courses and sections. So I am going to pause the screen here, just a moment, pause the share, and I am going to share with you guys my CodeHS course as I try to follow along. Okay. All right, let me get back here and get this up for you guys, just so I can share my CodeHS course with y'all. All right, gonna share again. Okay, can y'all see my screen? Are we still good? All right. All right, so this is just showing you guys my CodeHS screen. I've got two screens going on here, so I'm kind of going to be looking that way and this way. So you might see a lot of the side of my head as I go through this. Oh, yeah, and there's a great question I see there too from Andrea. And yeah, Stephanie will help you out. Stephanie will be helping y'all out with the chat while I'm over here doing the course stuff. So this is kind of looking, again, I mentioned earlier, I've got a lot of stuff I have signed up for here, but I want to take you through some of the basics here to get started. For creating your courses, once you get logged in, one of the first things you want to do is click on courses over on the left-hand side, and you can see that's my courses that's already up there. And then you're going to go to the top here, create course. This is how you're going to get started once you get your account created. Click on courses on the left and then create course at the top. Okay, there's also a green create course button. Okay, now you've got two different places that you can choose from here. Okay, you can choose a starting point, a CodeHS template, so you can use an existing course, which is great, which is generally what I do. I do not start from scratch. I'm not one to build everything from scratch. Been there, done that before. But I usually use one of the CodeHS courses that I mentioned just a little bit ago, all the ones I've gone through with you guys. And tweak it the way I want. So I will do some exercises, I rearrange it. You can rearrange modules, all the things, and I'm going to show y'all how to do that. Or you can start from scratch if you want to create an empty course. CodeHS allows you to create a variety of activities, and I'll show you some of that too. You can add quizzes, you can add existing assignments that are already in the CodeHS world. You can add coding exercises, sandbox exercises, lots of different things that you can add on here. So for purposes today, I'm going to show you choose a starting point. So you would choose course template. And then here is where you can click down and start choosing the different things. Lots and lots of courses to choose from. So you can see here is a scroll. And if you look at my scroll bar up here, we got a long way to go. There's a lot of different courses you can choose from. So if I go back up to the top, you can see some of the different filters. You can look at high school. It kind of defaults to where I'm at as a teacher. So CodeHS knows me, knows what I teach. So they know I teach the high school courses, and then right here is South Carolina courses for me. So I can also filter by courses that were made specifically for South Carolina. I can also type in, maybe I want to teach a Python course, so I can type in Python. There it is. Then I've got Introduction to Python. I can see the time frame for it, AP Computer Science Principles, and scroll on down. So there's lots of different things that I can see here for the course I might want to teach. Okay, lots of different things that you can do. One of the things I tend to do for most, I'm kind of going to duplicate my tab here and show you guys the way. A lot of times I look through courses before I ever get to the creating a course part. I'm going to duplicate my tab. And I like to go to the My Courses tab at the top is the way I like to do it. I go there and I scroll down to View Course Catalog. I'm sure there's another place on here to do it. This is just the way I do it. And I get this tab up, which really, really helps once it loads. There we are. Okay, so this is the way I look for courses and the way I'm going to be looking for the cybersecurity course that I want to teach next year. Here you can search for a specific course, a name. You can do it by tags if you click there and do the drop down. You can see maybe you're looking for AP courses or artificial intelligence, hour of code, all sorts of different things that you could look at by tag. You can also look by grade level. Maybe you want high school or middle school courses, so you can sort it that way. For me, maybe a high school course. And I'm just going to pretend for today, I'm going to go ahead and pick out a cybersecurity course. So I got high school, state. Not quite sure if we got one for South Carolina yet, but I'm going to try and see. Okay. So there's the South Carolina courses. And then you can also filter by time frame if you want a year, a semester, so on and so forth. So you could do that. So I can look here and I can see I've got a computer programming 1, 2 with Python, introduction, intermediate. There's the fundamentals of computing course. There's a cybersecurity course. It is a year-long course. That might be what I'm looking for. Fundamentals of web page, so on and so forth. Okay, so if I wanted to look more at the course to see if it's something I wanted to use, here I could go ahead and view the syllabus and see what that looks like. So that'll pull up here and I can see what the syllabus says. The syllabus breaks it down by all the topics covered. It is really wonderful. I really enjoy using that. So you can look at the syllabus there. I could go back and look at the units. I could actually do that and see all the different units. And maybe there's a unit in here that I really like that I want to assign to one of my existing courses. I could do that too. So that really helps out a whole lot there. I could look at assigning it, go ahead and assign it to one of my classes I have. I could enroll myself as a student so I could check it out, which is probably what I'm going to be doing. You could view the units, so on and so forth, or learn more. You could click on that and it'll bring you another page up, which will tell you the breakdown more about the course and what's in there. So this might be one way you want to research your courses before you pick one to actually do. Okay. So if I go back over here to creating a course, let's see, and I go here to the course I want to do and search for a course, I might type cybersecurity there. There it is. It popped up. Okay. So once you get that popped up, I could assign it to my class. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and click through some of my slides over here on the side, make sure I'm where I need to be. Okay. So I'm going to assign it. This is the one I want to teach. Choose the course. This would be to an existing one that I have not created yet. So let me back out 1 second here. Like I said, this is the one I want to do. It does say add two courses. So let me do that instead. Okay. So this is where I would add it. So if I had an existing course, I would assign it. I don't have a course yet. I'm working from scratch here. So I would want to create, and I'll call it, I could call it, let's see, South Carolina Cybersecurity Fundamentals. Okay. So this would be my first semester course here. Okay. Then I would click next. It's going to create my new course. And there it is. Okay, so I've created my actual course. Now I can add a section or manage assignments. So I'm probably going to want to create sections now. For creating sections, what you would want to do, and the reason for that, let's say the only thing I'm teaching is cybersecurity. That's it. And we have a block schedule at my school. So maybe I'm teaching it first block and third block. This is where I would go in and add sections to it. So I would click add section here. And then I would name it. I would name it. Now you can import from Google Classroom. We do have a lot of links at my school. We use Schoology, so we do that there. And that will actually create my sections for me when we go through the links. But just in case you don't have a learning management system to connect the two of those together, this would be the way you would do it. Okay. So for section name, I might call it says period 1. I might call this, I would probably call it, I don't know, first block. Okay. Spring. Actually, this is going to be fall 2025. There we go. Okay. All right. So I would click next and you've successfully created a section. So that's how you would create your sections there. Okay. Any questions so far? I think Stephanie's got you guys. I'm just going at it. All right, awesome. All right, so now we've got here, the next thing that we want to do is go look at our sections. See if I've got this in here. Here it is. You can see some of my other courses up there I'm already teaching. So here is my section, and here is the class code over here on the right that I would give my students when they go to sign up. So when they create their student accounts and they open up CodeHS, it's going to ask them for a code to join a class. So this is where you would get that code to actually join the class. All right. Okay. All right, so I'm going to click on my class just to open it up and see what it's like. And there it is. Currently, I have no students. This is an invite students link that I could use to invite students, or I could give them the class code to join there. All right. Now, the next thing I want to go through after the class code's there for your sections, and you could create more sections. Up at the top too, here it shows you can join the section, or you can have the students sign up there. So two different ways up here at the top too. Okay. All right. So that would be for enrolling students. I'm just going through my slides. Make sure I'm covering everything with you guys. And if there's something you have a question about, just drop it in chat and Stephanie can stop me and we can get that answered for you guys. All right. All right. So the next things to go on is your assignments, your roster, so on and so forth. So this would be your sections over here on the left and your roster over on the right where you would see students. I currently don't have any students enrolled, so I can't really show you that. But for assignments, I can go down there and show you some different things on managing your course. All right. So let me look at the customization. So that's where we're at now. this is one of the beauties about it. There's so many things on here I can show you, but we only have limited amount of time. But you can see all of your different modules here that are in here. Again, with a year-long course, depending on how you're doing it, I would probably remove some of the later modules and just teach the beginning ones. At the beginning here, we got what is cybersecurity? So that would be my first module. I might want to rearrange some of these modules, and you can do that by the edit button here over on the right. So if I click edit here, then you can see I can grab and move these sections around. Okay, so maybe I want to do that. Maybe I want to shuffle the way I'm doing them. So you can do that. I would probably want to keep what is cybersecurity at the top, but just keep in mind you can rearrange these units. All right. I'm going to click done. Okay. If you open up each module, another thing that you can do here too is you can rearrange with my students, I usually refer to these as units and these as modules. So I'm like, we're on unit 1 today, module 1, unit 1, module 2, so on and so forth. Within each module, you've got customization here. This is just like an introduction, course goals, and you can add assignments. This one's notes. This one is a free response question from the students. So it asks a question and the students would answer it via typing something in text, and you would grade it that way. And you can also add new assignments, and I'll show y'all that here in just a moment. Right now, I'm focusing on reordering your modules. Okay. So let's say, for example, trying to think, I wasn't sure if there was one in here or not. Here's a good example for me. At the beginning here, there's always a video. This is kind of the way CodeHS is laid out, which I absolutely love. The very first thing is a video introducing the students to the concept in the module. The next thing usually is a quiz. I prefer personally, I was telling Stephanie this the other day, I prefer to have my quizzes at the end. So I always move them to the end of the module. I have them watch the video or we watch it together, and then we do some of the examples. We look through those. Then we do the exercises, and then I save the quiz for last. So one of the ways I could do that, over on the right-hand side, you've got your 3 dots, and I would click this right here and use the move down feature. So I would move that down, move it down, move it down, and keep going. Okay, till it gets to the bottom. So that's the way I would do mine. And it's saved. You don't have to do anything else. One of the other things, let's say maybe this free response question here, 153. For this question, I'm going to look at all my different options for it. I can assign it to another course. I can look at the solution, different general things here. But this is one of the most important parts for me. I can unassign it. Let's say I don't want them to do this one. I can click on assigned, and I can click the drop down here and unassign it. And the students don't see it, and they don't have to worry about it. So I can actually remove it. I can delete it, or I can leave it there and unassign it for the students so they don't have to worry about it. So that is one thing that you can do. You can move it to a different lesson. I'm going to come back to some of these. Again, you can move it up, move it down, or you can remove it, like I said. You can assign it. You can change the due dates for it here. The access controls, depending on what students have. And the forking. Forking is wonderful. I don't use it
Tammy,
enough. Go ahead.
sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. We have 1 minute left. So how about one more tip for our
All right.
attendees, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right, let me look really quickly here, see if there's one other thing. I did go through removing content, assigning content from the course catalog. Yeah, that's a good one I didn't go to. Let me jump to this one. Here's our last tip. You can add new assignments in here. So if you want to do something different here, click on Add New Assignment. And this is where you can go in and you can add a coding exercise, a quiz, practice problem, video, article, notes, free response. You can embed an activity from another place, a resource, an example, and so on and so forth. If you want to add something, like I said, from the course catalog, you can go, I showed you that, I think a minute ago, where if you go into a course and you look at some of their units and stuff, you can click assign to add those over. Trying to think, Stephanie, can you think of anything quickly? Something else I could show? I thought we had a whole hour.
Just 45 minutes this time, but I mean, I think you've really covered everything. Um, have you
And the
ever
slides will
used,
help.
yeah,
The
yeah. Have
slides
you ever
that
used the project catalog, Tammy?
a little.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
over on the left-hand navigation and under curriculum, yeah, go up a little bit. You can see project catalog. That's another great place to go to find additional assignments and practice. Although, like you said before, you never run out of curriculum with CodeHS.
No. So yeah, this is a real good place that under, like you said, over here on the left under curriculum, there's the course catalog where you can jump to it and find things to add to your course. The project catalog allows you to sort by, I've looked at this before too, the Java, the Python, lots of different things in here too. Like if I were to click on this, I could assign it to my course right there. So and once you click assign, you can pick which course you want to assign it to. Again, I've got several. So yeah, so lots and lots of resources. Is there anything else you want me to show?
No, you've done so wonderfully getting a bunch of information into a short amount of time. So I very, very much appreciate you sharing, especially your workflows and navigating the site. I mean, I will tell everybody here, I've been with CodeHS since April of 2024, so like 8 months, 9 months, and I am still finding things out new every day. It's a huge platform with a lot of curriculum and a lot of teacher tools. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, it's okay. Tammy did a great job getting so much information in.
Thank you. Let me get, I guess, the last slides back up.
Sure, I'm ready.
Okay, so we kind of gone through all that, the assign button, creating your own content. These are the last slides, which Stephanie did include the slides for you guys to go through. So if you want to do that, feel free to go through those. So I believe here we are.
Yes, that is perfect. So we love to hear how you all enjoyed the time today, and we very much look forward to learning what else you would like to hear about next in some PD webinars. So please take a moment to take our survey. And then really quickly, I will once again go ahead and put that certificate of completion link in the chat. So again, make sure you're signed into CodeHS, then click the certificate of completion link. It'll just display a message that says, thank you for attending. And then Tammy, if you want to go to the next slide, I'll pull a plug in for our upcoming webinars. So we are going to have an AI webinar for around how to engage students with AI apps. Then we're going to get into AP land. It's coming up on the exams, and then teachers have to figure out what to do after the exam. So we are going to be hitting the AP preparation hard this spring with some webinars. And you can find the full list at the link I will put in the chat. So Tammy, if you want to go to the next slide for me. So yeah, that's our full list. I put the link in the chat. And then last slide for me, Tammy, thank you. If you do not currently have a pro license with us, we would love to bring those awesome tools to you in your district. So please check us out at codehs.com/learn more. So thank you all for your time. Thank you, Tammy, for an awesome job. And we hope to see you soon in another PD.
Thank you.
Bye.